All right, today we're diving into the world of heavy machinery,
Okay.
but not the kind that guzzles diesel. We're talking about the companies that are making those massive machines run clean, specifically an Australian company called Alta Technology.
And they're not just tinkering around the edges. Alta's slogan is enabling the future cycle of energy. And they mean it. We're talking full-on electrification of some of the biggest energy hogs out there.
Okay, future cycle of energy. That sounds pretty ambitious. What's the game plan here? Are they like scrapping diesel engines entirely and building everything from the ground up?
Actually, that's what's so interesting about their approach. They've developed something called Integrated Vehicular Electronic Control Systems, or IVAC for short.
Privacy.
Yeah. So instead of replacing entire machines, they're upgrading the existing ones with these cutting-edge electric systems.
So it's like they're giving these old school machines a new lease on life, a clean energy makeover instead of a one-way ticket to the scrapyard. I like it.
Exactly.
But we're talking about some seriously heavy-duty equipment here. What kind of machines can they actually electrify with this IVEC system?
Well, it's not just one type of machine, and that's what's so impressive. Their technology is adaptable to a whole range of heavy machinery. Obviously, mining trucks are a big focus, but are also working on electrifying locomotives, those massive freight trains.
Wow.
And it goes even further than that. Think forklifts, cranes, even tractors.
Wow, so their reach extends way beyond just one industry then.
Absolutely. They're not just electrifying individual machines, they're aiming to transform entire sectors. Their work touches everything from mining to construction to logistics. And get this, they even offer off-grid energy storage and power solutions,
Interesting.
which hints at an even broader impact on the energy industry as a whole.
It's like they're a one-stop shop for heavy industries looking to ditch diesel. And it's all coming out of Australia. What's the story there?
Their global headquarters is actually in Melbourne.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And this local connection is especially interesting when you look at some of their partnerships. For example, they're working with Aurizon,
Okay.
Australia's largest rail freight company, on a pretty groundbreaking project.
Okay, now you've piqued my interest. What's this project all about?
It's called the Aurizon Battery Electric Tender, or BE for short.
The BE.
We'll delve into the specifics a little later, but it essentially involves attaching a massive high-tech battery pack to existing diesel locomotives. It's a pretty ingenious way to bring electrification to rail lines without having to replace their entire fleet of trains.
A battery-powered sidekick for diesel trains. Okay, I'm definitely curious to hear more about this BE project later on. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's take a closer look at the technology that makes all of this possible.
A great place to start is with the heart of their system, the HSG 8000 unit. This is where things get really interesting.
Okay, let's unpack this HSG 8000 then. What makes it so special?
The HSG 8000 is essentially the brains of the operation. It acts as a bridge between those older diesel power systems and the cleaner energy sources Alta is working with.
So if I'm picturing this correctly, it's like the HSG 8000 is taking the raw power of the diesel engine and translating it into a language that batteries can understand.
That's a great way to think about it. Technically speaking, it's a combination DC-DC converter and power control unit. The DC-DC converter manages the flow of electricity between different voltage levels, ensuring everything is compatible, while the power control unit, as its name suggests, dictates how that power is ultimately used.
It's like the conductor of an orchestra, making sure all the different instruments are playing in sync and creating a harmonious sound. Only in this case, the sound is clean energy. But what makes the HSG 8000 truly stand out? What's giving it an edge in an industry that's constantly evolving?
What's remarkable is its adaptability. Alta designed the HSG 8000 to be compatible with both battery technology and fuel cells.
Okay.
This means they're not tied to just one energy solution, which is incredibly forward-thinking in a landscape that's constantly changing.
That's a brilliant strategy. It's like they're hedging their bets, staying open to whatever the future of clean energy holds. So whether it's lithium-ion batteries today or hydrogen fuel cells tomorrow, the HSG 8000 is ready to roll with the punches, but I'm curious what's under the hood of this adaptable system.
Well, this is where it gets a bit technical, but I'll try to keep it digestible. The HSG 8000 utilizes something called IGBTs, which stands for Insulated Gate Bipolar Transistors.
IGBTs, those sound intense. Break it down for me. What are these IGBTs and what's their role in all of this?
Think of IGBTs like tiny electrical switches, but capable of handling a significant amount of power. They're the key to making the entire HSG 8000 unit incredibly efficient, which ultimately translates to real-world benefits.
So more efficiency means less energy wasted, which translates to lower operating costs. That's a win-win for companies looking to green their operations and their bottom line. But let's talk about the bigger picture. They've got this incredibly efficient and adaptable system, the HSG 8000. How is Alta actually putting it to work in heavy machinery?
That's where their practical experience really shines. They're not just developing technology in a vacuum. They've got a whole roadmap of projects already underway, particularly in mining and rail, two sectors that come to mind immediately.
All right, let's start with mining trucks, those behemoths that are practically synonymous with heavy industry. How is Alta tackling the challenge of decarbonizing these massive machines?
They've adopted a tiered approach, which is incredibly savvy. This allows them to meet mining companies at their comfort level when it comes to decarbonization, offering a range of solutions.
So it's about providing options, acknowledging that not every company is ready to go fully electric overnight. Tell me more about these different tiers.
For companies just dipping their toes into electrification, there's the Energy Regeneration Module, or ERM. This is a bolt-on system that captures energy typically lost during braking and uses it to reduce overall fuel consumption. It's a less invasive, more affordable option, but it still makes a significant impact.
Less invasive is a big deal when you're talking about machinery that's crucial to day-to-day operations. What kind of impact are we talking about with the ERM?
On a Komatsu 930E, a popular mining truck model, the ERM can achieve up to a 12% reduction in emissions, which is nothing to scoff at. And what's even more impressive is that they can install it in just 2 weeks.
2 weeks. That's incredible, especially for an industry where downtime can be incredibly costly. The ERM has like a great first step, but what about companies ready to fully commit to an electric future? What does Alta offer them?
For those ready to take the plunge, Alta has developed the hybrid electric haul truck, or HHT. They're collaborating with Cummins, a major player in engine manufacturing, to develop this technology.
So it's like the hybrid cars we're used to seeing on the roads, but scaled up to handle the demands of heavy industry. That's fascinating. What sort of emissions reductions are we looking at with the HHT?
Projections show the HT could achieve a 20% reduction in emissions compared to a standard diesel truck, which is substantial. And the best part is that this isn't just a concept. They're already conducting real-world trials.
Trials mean they're collecting data, working out the kinks, and proving that this technology can deliver on its promises. That's encouraging. But let's be honest, the holy grail here is to eliminate diesel entirely. Does Alta have a solution for companies that are ready to go fully electric?
They absolutely do. And it's not some distant dream. They're already producing fully electric mining trucks.
Now we're talking, tell me everything.
It's called the TR100E, and it's a game changer. A 100% electric mining truck rolling off the production line and straight into the heart of the industry. It's a bold statement for sure.
It's a statement that positions them as a leader in this transition to a cleaner, more sustainable future for heavy industry. But knowing Alta, they're not stopping there, are they?
You're right to suspect there's more. They're always looking ahead, exploring even more innovative solutions. In fact, they're currently developing a 150-ton hydrogen-powered haul truck, the FCHT.
Hydrogen power. Now that's exciting. So they've got a solution for every stage of the game. Baby steps with the ERM, a significant leap with the HMAHT, full-on electric with the TR100E, and a glimpse into the future with the hydrogen-powered FCHT. It's remarkable how Alta is catering to every level of commitment to a cleaner future. But we've been laser-focused on mining trucks. What about other types of heavy machinery?
Let's shift gears and talk about trains. Electrifying locomotives, especially those massive freight trains, presents a whole other set of challenges, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. The sheer size and power demands of those things, it seems like a whole other ballgame. So how is Alta approaching this?
They've already demonstrated their ability to electrify existing diesel locomotives.
They've actually got an all-electric train up and running somewhere.
Yeah, they do. It was a diesel-to-electric retrofit project, and its success is a major milestone. It proves that large-scale electrification is not only possible in the rail industry, but achievable using existing infrastructure.
That's a huge win for proving the concept. So they've got the fully electric side covered. But knowing Alta, they're probably also exploring ways to bridge the gap for companies not ready to go all in just yet.
You're reading their playbook. They're currently developing hybrid electric locomotives. These hybrids offer the best of both worlds, allowing for greater fuel efficiency and reduced emissions while still leveraging existing diesel infrastructure.
Okay, I see a pattern here. It's about providing a spectrum of options, allowing companies to transition at their own pace. It's a smart strategy meeting the industry where it's at while still pushing towards that fully electric future. But let's circle back to a project we touched on earlier, the battery electric tender, or BET. This is the one where they attach a giant battery pack to a diesel locomotive, right?
That's the one. And it's even more groundbreaking than it might sound at first. This isn't just another project for Alta. This is a world first in rail decarbonization.
World first. Okay, now I understand the excitement. What makes this technology so groundbreaking? What makes it a world first?
It's all about cracking the code of long-haul rail electrification. One of the biggest hurdles has always been range, especially for freight lines that stretch across vast distances. The BET solves this by providing a powerful, long-lasting electric boost. It essentially transforms a standard diesel locomotive into a hybrid, capable of running on electric power for extended periods.
So it's like giving these diesel trains an energy drink, a jolt of clean power to cover those long hauls. How far can they actually go on battery power alone?
The prototype they're developing for Artisan is projected to extend their locomotive's range by up to 400 kilometers.
Wow.
That's a significant chunk of the journey covered without burning a drop of diesel.
400 kilometers, that's incredible. You could go from Sydney to Canberra on a single charge. It really highlights how this technology could reshape the feasibility of electric rail, especially for those longer routes. But you mentioned something earlier about regenerative braking. How does that work into all of this?
Just like electric cars, the BAT can capture the energy generated during braking and feed it back into the battery. This regenerative braking system further enhances the efficiency of the whole system, extending the range even further.
It's like a free energy bonus. Capturing energy that would otherwise be wasted is such a smart approach. It speaks to Alta's commitment to squeezing every ounce of efficiency out of their designs. But it's not just about the technology itself, is it? There's a whole ecosystem surrounding these projects.
You're absolutely right. Alta understands that transitioning to electric power isn't just about swapping out parts. It's a fundamental shift that requires support and expertise. That's why their service offerings go beyond just the hardware. They provide comprehensive support, including consulting, design, project management, and even training and after-sales maintenance.
So they're with these companies every step of the way, from initial planning and implementation to ongoing maintenance and support. It's a holistic approach that instills confidence, especially for industries that are used to tried and true diesel engines.
Exactly. And that local presence in Australia is particularly valuable. It means direct access to expertise, streamlined maintenance, and readily available support.
That local connection can make all the difference. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here today, from the intricate details of DC-DC converters to the sheer scale of electrifying a mining truck or a freight train. What's the key takeaway for our listeners? Why should they care about Alta technology and their innovative approach?
I think it boils down to this. Alta is demonstrating that the future of heavy industry doesn't have to be a choice between sustainability and productivity. They're proving that we can have both. Their technology is already making a tangible impact, reducing emissions, improving efficiency, and demonstrating that even the most energy-intensive industries can be part of a cleaner, more sustainable future.
It's a powerful message, and it's backed by real-world solutions. With companies like Alta leading the charge, the future of heavy industry is looking brighter, quieter, and a whole lot more electric. That's something worth getting excited about. And that just about wraps up our deep dive into the world of Alta technology and their mission to electrify heavy industry.
A mission that's well underway, I might add.
Until next time, keep those minds curious and remember, the future is electric.
And it's closer than you think.